Okay, let's see. Is this good?
It is. You see yourself?
Right. I can see, I think. Okay, this first piece I came across, several years ago, and it really moved me. And it's in regard to, and the title is Myanmar Poets Forever. Dilapidated democracy deaths of poets in Myanmar since military criminalizing of power has not yet taken control of their righteous words, but has killed poets. On poets' words speak truths that need being said and acted upon. The horrific price to pay for these words of truth to Myanmar's people is openly accepted by these poets who put the value of freedom for others far above their own valued lives. This military coup needs eradication by the devotion to freedom, so stated by the poetic words centralized from the township of Myanmar, having emerged as center of fierce resistance. The National Poets Union has given Myanmar poets countless awards in regard to artistry of words created in language, read and spoken. More than 4 poets have been killed, some shot in the head, some drenched in gasoline, set on fire, more than 30 imprisoned. All of these fighting for freedom of life, so stated by miraculous usage of wondered words. On this goes. Realization actions for freedom here is an inspired inspiration. Let us join speaking of poetic words to open freedom's doors in Myanmar country between the logistic borders of India and China, being known as Burma in the past. These poetic souls have given their honored lives in standing tall, creatively stating the honesty of freedom, not only for their families and friends, but for all the people of Myanmar. The military coup continues killing and arresting protesters, including children, across a country willing to stand up for its strong beliefs of freedom over military domination. We will win. Myanmar Poets' dedication to free speech has pulled together a country-wide expanding protest. It is receiving international recognition. The in-power military coup here duplicates the Nazi Third Reich under Adolf Hitler, a true psychopathic killer of his period. The poetic word of truth across our world will bring them down. The Myanmar poets, having given their devoted lives to words of freedom for their country, will not be forgotten and always will be remembered for strengths. The Myanmar poets are still fighting with words for freedom. I have added mine. This piece is a personal piece in regard to my son, who is a musician, and it's entitled Studio Jazz. Intensity of mind and body, creativity of focused spirit, coming together as sounds of heartfelt music radiates the soul, exploding to ears of audience. Playing these guitar rhythms, my son in his studio heightens my love of music creativity, so floating together with expression of intuitive play, coming from within and floats into our galaxy of heartfelt absorption. Those years back, his diagnosis and treatment of cancer did not bring him down. Music was his saving grace, as he would play guitar, ridding his mind of horrors every evening as those brainful thoughts of dying would creep inside if let through life's doors. His guitar truly was his forceful lock of life, and he won his battle. His emotional physicality of jazz play this day, having me inside his studio, so guaranteed my love of life to continue and be recognized each day I am here loving my talented son throughout the days and years ahead. Now this next piece, again, was something that I stumbled across maybe a year or two ago. And I live over on South Street in Newburgh, in a 4-floor walk-up. It was built brownstone back in the 1860s. This piece is entitled Beauty of Feather. Soft rhythmic structure of life's wings, gradations of color and form that sends beauty of birds into the space of sky, upward to sought-after heights into the blue of heavens. One cloudy autumn day, I found one such small gift softly laying alone on the walkway whispered surface. It spoke to me of beauty and intimacy as I lightly reached to touch and carefully gathered this reminder of life's frailty. Stroking the feathered edge and noting its return to form, I wondered from where had this softness come, to whom had this belonged. Never would I know, but keep this whispered softness I decided to do. A worn small crack above our doorbell spoke to me as I searched for a resting place. Place I did this feathered softness, knowing I would see and behold this stem of life in the outdoor atmosphere it deserves still, day by day. Winds blew in that night, fiercely rising and subsiding as the will of weather chose to dominate. Our front door I left early the next morning, recognizing no longer there my whispered feather. Blown away it had gone, forever I darkly thought, but I saw it then, as if it wanted to be found again, and back I placed it. Weeks now gone by, still there it is, the soft textured beauty of simplicity, knowing to come that day when no longer it will be. But relish I do that small, lonely touch with nature I will have had those few passing days of autumn. This will be the last piece I'll do. It's entitled Raping the Country. Humankind, through misjudgment, desire for power and profit, will be and is the ugly truth leading us into annihilation of our species and the natural world so deserved by all of nature. Community, county, state, country, and world decisions are constantly voting on endorsing chemical contaminations, not only lying to the public of our earth, but accepting the holocaustic murderous actions they commit for their pocket money, not to mention extravagant living and taking advantage of our innocent young through the horrendous sex trafficking industry. To our recent knowledge, we now know of 2 presidents who took sexual advantage of young women: Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. I would not be surprised if there were others. As our own public, we have the guaranteed right to hold these psychopathic obstructionists accountable for their horrendous actions committed. A major problem always following is they have paid others in power and money to sweep those horrific actions under the dirty rugs of our society. They vacuum clean the surface, but underneath, the sewage of their dirty realities still exists. Their political higher grounds offers other areas of misdeeds, corporate contaminations of our environment, plastic garbage runoffs fed into our soils. Corporate entities are Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, Nestle, Procter & Gamble, plus more. Then there are carbon dioxide emissions fed into our atmosphere from smokestacks blowing into our precious air from factories galore. Corporate entities are Shell, ExxonMobil, Chevron, Conoco, Phillips, Peabody Energy, plus others. These contaminations have been poisoning us for decades and are undoubtedly causing global warming. But technological change demands extreme scientific devotion and costs required for committed turnaround. Try to fathom this. Global warming causing shoreline floodings around our country will put New York, Miami, New Orleans, and countless others totally under 10 to 15 feet of ocean's waters or more. I can see this happening now for our non-survival unless we speak our righteous minds through due diligence and directional demonstrations, sprinting toward the continued living we and our families so will always deserve. Thank you.